Hey guys, this is Mike. Fun topic today. One of you, or maybe you, checked constipation in your quiz. So I get the joy of discussing constipation with you. So here's a couple of details about it. It actually is kind of interesting, well, to me. So constipation is really almost always caused by one of very, very few things. I can only think of three. One is supplements or medications that you're taking, and if you read the warning signs, it might say constipation in there. The other two are really simple and really easy to fix normally, and they're peristalsis, which just means, see, if you think of your intestines kind of like a tube, it's a flexible tube, not like a pipe, more like a tube of toothpaste. And then you have a musculature around that just picture fingers as being muscles, and it moves material down that tube, kind of like when you're milking a cow, and you can't just pinch, you have to squeeze it in a certain way. Yeah, I've milked a cow before. So anyway, with peristalsis, what happens is some medications slow it way down. They make your system move really lethargically, and that is constipation. And then, so that and meds, that's one cause that exists. And then the other is, the most common is just regular old-fashioned dehydration. So the trouble is that the three of those, especially peristalsis and dehydration, can be closely related. If the material once you eat it, it passes through your stomach. If it moves through you slowly, your intestinal wall absorbs the moisture out of it continuously, however long it's there. And so that's why when you're constipated, you might be eliminating things that you ate 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days before. And so the longer they're in you, the more dehydrated they get. The more dehydrated they get, the harder it is to push rocks through that flexible tube instead of something that's more like a paste. Sorry for being gross. So anyway, that's the deal on that. If you have that, first of all, constipation can be serious. So if you're chronic or it's gone on a long time, you probably need to shoot an email or make a visit with your doctor. Other than that, at the level of things that we can help with, one of the big things you can do is just drink more fluids. And your fluids, to get through to your bladder, the water that you drink, it has to pass through your intestines. So you can rehydrate the constipated material and get it to move through you faster, and also reduce the amount of slow peristalsis action that you have. So water fixes it to a degree, can take a while. The other thing is, I actually had a friend who was seeing a doctor for this, but went 6 weeks with constipation. Said he never eliminated anything. And he was actually still okay. I mean, it can become toxic. It can be a problem. I'm not saying that it's not. But sometimes if you're used to a daily thing or an every other day thing, and then all of a sudden it's been a half a week or 2, or in his case 6, it can be pretty stressful. So the first thing I would do for constipation is to make sure you're hydrated. And so the average person drinks a quart or 1.5 liters or so a day. That's probably a good healthy amount. Another way to figure it, if your weight is very different than an average person, you can take your body weight in pounds. You could kind of convert that by just halving it for kilos. But you take your body weight in pounds, divide it in half, and that number is roughly the ounces, the number of ounces per day that you should probably be drinking. And of course, if you're really active, perspiring, summertime, that kind of thing, you can up that as much as 50 to 100%. The products that can help with that are kind of limited. There's 2 that I can think of. One is Rachel's Tea. Rachel's Tea is kind of a general inflammation reducer, acid reducer, improving all the general symptoms of people with digestive disorders. But there's also a very specific one for this, and I don't use any of the store-bought remedies. Many of them are actually anything that's laxative or laxative-like. Those develop a very quick dependency. So it may solve that day's problem or that week's problem, and then your system is a little weaker. Your peristalsis action has been compromised a little bit. It's like taking certain types of drugs or therapies that you take can actually reduce your body's ability to produce those same chemistries in your system. So I don't recommend them. Some people like to take fiber. That usually has a very negative effect on constipation. But the best supplement for constipation is actually called slippery elm. Slippery elm comes in little, generally 400 or 500 milligram capsules. It's available at Rachel's Tea. That product, you can, if you find a better deal on it, it's not like most products that are very specific to Rachel's formulas as far as making them work for people with digestive disorders. But slippery elm is a very generic product. So Rachel has a great one, sells it near cost. I recommend it. But if you are in trouble right now and you don't want to wait a day or two for your order, get it anywhere you want. Take 2 to 4 capsules at a time. I would take it with every time you take a drink or a meal. It creates a muciloid in your stomach, very similar to the mucus lining that's supposed to be there and in your intestines. And then when a little bit of food or liquid material moves through you with that extra muciloid, it paints your whole stomach and intestinal tract with that. It doesn't last very long. You have to keep doing it every meal or every drink, but it is a solution until you're on the program diet and supplements long enough to actually get you better to where your system is moving along at a proper pace. Your digestive bacteria is great. You're properly hydrated. You're getting good nutrition. When all that is right, this problem will just go away for almost everyone. Anyway, give those couple of ideas a try, and I think you're going to feel a lot better. Thanks.